What are you starting to like less the older you get? Loud noises in general. I've always been sensitive to loud noises, but it seems to have gotten worse lately. Anything with a lot of hype that requires me to stand in a long-ass line. I saw a truly ridiculous line at a state fair a couple months ago. Was wondering what it was for. Not that I'd stand in it anyway, but curious. It was insanely long, like I can't even think of the proper superlatives for the size of this line. I asked a friend about it. Donuts. Just some ducking donuts. These donuts could have been handcrafted by God himself with flour grown in the fields of heaven and kneaded with bald eagle tears. I wasn't going to spend hours of my day in that line, especially when I'm at a fair and have so many other things to do with the limited time I get there. This is mine. I only go to theme parks in the off-season, and I will not wait in line for food anymore. I love In-N-Out, but I go maybe a couple times a year because the line is always out through the parking lot, often stretching into the street. It's good, but it's not that good, folks. As someone who has never been In-N-Out, sounds like it should be a quick experience. Edit, guys, I'm not going in vegan. They are actually pretty quick, but the line is always discouraging regardless. Loud places. Like bars and parties and stuff like that. I don't understand pubs that can't decide if they want to be a club or a pub. People come just to have a burger, a beer and a conversation, and the place has speakers blasting music no one is listening to. Can only talk to the person just next to me. Just ruins the experience. In Australia, the volume level of music is linked to the liquor license. If it stipulates background noise or just above. Often it's tested practically by seeing if two people 1 meter apart can comfortably speak. If they can't, a restaurant liquor license is no longer suffice. Whether or not the venue you speak of might have a similar restriction, don't know the country of origin, they are making a decision to have music at a level people cannot comfortably speak, for some reason. Do they think it gets customer attention from foot traffic? Are they aiming for a younger crowd with excess income? Is the boss an ass who doesn't want staff reading the room and adjusting accordingly, so sets it at the volume it will incrementally arrive at by 9 p.m.? I'd suggest giving them some feedback via email. They mightn't even know they're doing it and harming their own business. I went to a pizza restaurant in Mooloolaba earlier this year with a ducking DJ. Playing awful cheesy commercial house at full tilt. You couldn't hear yourself think and had to literally shout to have a conversation. We were there for about 3 minutes and just walked out. I love a good DJ at a party or whatever, but in a restaurant? Ridiculous. Today I learned there is a place called Mooloolaba. My life somehow feels richer. How fast time is slipping away from me rather than how slow it used to be as a kid. I hate losing interest in things I used to love. Feel this, used to love video games, but now I can't stand more than 30 minutes of my favorite ones before getting bored. Don't know if it's a mental thing or if I'm just losing it, but it's wild that it happens so fast. Feel that. Sometimes I get the biggest urge to play games, so I turn on my PS5 and just stare blankly at the library and ultimately never play anything, and watch it instead. Honestly depressing thinking back on it sometimes. Or I'll buy a game, so keen to play it, then play it for 30 minutes like you said, then lose all interest and never touch it again. What's going on? I'm saying that, when I do find a game I'll deep dive into it. Most recently, for example, with Destroy All Humans 2 Remake, so ducking good and nostalgia overload. Damn, you described exactly how I've felt the past year. I wish I enjoyed video games still. Tried tons of genres and game styles, nothing holds my attention. Same here. But now I've discovered a love for survival games. I'm kind of over fast-paced shooters and frantic competition. I love settling in to spend a little time with Subnautica or The Long Dark though. Subnautica is the first game in a long time to pull me in for multi-hour stretches. Good enough that I immediately bought the sequel as well and did the same thing lol. Feeling like I've done all the right things yet the goalposts keep moving farther out. Alcohol. It's getting harder for me to bounce back on Sunday fundays. So much so that I moved them to Saturday. The fact that 2 beers doesn't get me drunk, but does get me a hangover, makes the whole thing feel very not worth it. Yeah, exactly. God forbid I actually get really drunk, now. I'll pay for it for 3 days. Shopping. For anything. Including groceries. Shopping used to be fun. Now it is a chore. Honestly, leaving the house, I used to be a social butterfly and now I have to convince myself to go get basic necessities and go to work. Yes. I just want to stay home and be left alone. That would be paradise. Driving. I used to drive to do fun stuff like pick up my friends, go places I wanted to be, or just cruise during the night and enjoy the air. Now I drive to work. Even though my car is a million times more fun to drive, I'm perpetually annoyed. When I was 17, I was rolling around in a Hyundai Elantra with loads of mechanical issues and no inspection sticker. And I drove that ducker everywhere. I'm bored, let's drive to Maine. I'm bored, let's drive to Rhode Island. Now I'm driving a much nicer car and my 10-minute drive home from work is just not satisfying. I think that's part of it. I'm never bored anymore. I'm always busy. No time to just enjoy simple things. I've invested all this time seeking success, and it's robbed me of this simple pleasures. Chasing money all the time can turn a smart human into an empty shell, who forgets what was the purpose of emotions, instinct, family and all those real things. Same it is for chasing dopamine adrenaline. 4. Taking time off work and I get nightmares about being late for work. 2 in the morning I'll wake up in a cold sweat thinking I'm late. I'm just a herd animal like a cow. My mind is programmed to suck corporate dick and I hate it. Working. Getting drunk. Politics. People. Social media. I've already pared it down to Reddit and Instagram years ago but honestly could do without IG too now. I'm down to Reddit. I have no desire for the other platforms anymore. I'm down to only certain subs on Reddit. I removed everything on the default front page and joined only subs I'm interested in. Occasionally, I'll check out Unpopular, which is similar as edit to the front page. The world in general, it feels less and less like it has anything to do with me, more alien and absurd with each passing year. Perhaps that's natural for a creature that is closer to death than birth. Having social interactions, even going out with my friends is tiring. Yeah, my mom with Alzheimer's lives with me so I basically have no life anymore. 33 Yo. My buddies had to drag me out of the house and we went to some Halloween parties last night. Loud music, lots of drinks, hot scantily clad women everywhere. Granted I did have some fun, but all I could think about was whether my mom was about to burn the house down. If she wasn't a factor I'd have no objection to staying out until 4 to 5 a.m., even knowing my old ass would take 3 days to recover. But instead I just tapped out early to beat the traffic lol. I understand a bit. Caring for someone that is mentally ill is tiring. Is there a way to hire a caretaker for her once a week? She is about to start going to adult daycare, which is, well, basically what it sounds like. Even getting her out of the house for 4 to 6 hours a day would be good for both of us. I do oil and gas consulting, so when I have projects it's hard to pay any attention to her. I'm trying to get back into W-2 work so I can just get some stability and consistency again. That's the only way to have a civil lifestyle with an Alzheimer's dementia patient. Unfortunately my industry, like many others, is tightening their belts right now. Regardless of daycare or having an in-home caretaker, it's $160 plus day and even more if you need nights. My mom needs 247 care and I don't have $4,000 plus to spend on that. Even twice a week just for respite is expensive because the place is 45 minutes from the house. If I wanted respite at my house I'd end up making 2 round trips however many days a week, tolls, gas, etc. I've been doing this for 3 years now so I'm kind of used to it, but damn do I feel like I'm wasting my early 30s. Are you in a similar situation? I had a psychiatrist who I saw every few months and she did really help set some firm boundaries that gave me some time to myself. But my career stalled for years because of it. It changed my romantic life, and it's just tough. It helped me to keep in mind how hard aging is for people. My very independent father couldn't stand not being able to drive and do certain things. He passed at home, in his sleep, the night after head BBQ'd my fave dish and wet at dinner. I wasn't ready but he was. I miss him terribly, but I do feel like I can be selfish now for the first time in years and it's great. The cost of care is insane. I did a lot of work from home when I could and luckily my neighbors were pretty awesome and I could call a couple of them to check in if I got delayed. My biggest help was strangely enough a dog walker. Met her on a dog walking app and she often came with her boyfriend. Amazing people, and my dad especially got close to the boyfriend. They would call me if they thought there was anything of concern. All I can advise is taking up people that offer to help. My parents are gone, and my sibling, but I have become close with my former dog walkers and the girl's grandparents officially adopted me as family. I guess be open to things. Help comes from unexpected places. Just pay it forward when you can.